Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 15th of March, comes to you from London and the Ides of March. So we look at the charts. We're seeing a lot more red on the screen today. Interestingly, the energy mix is just starting to head up. So we are just seeing gas prices hardening a little bit this morning. We did go out as bearish first thing because the trends are that way, and we're seeing oil down quite substantially. But we'll take a quick look at what's going on in the major markets. We're looking at the dollar. It's still looking strong on all three time horizons. Remember, it's my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart. Looking at the euro, we are seeing it's just trying to get back to short-term bullish. But for the moment, of course, the longer-term picture is a bearish one. The dollar yen rate, we're seeing the dollar still looking very strong there. That's popped this week and is bullish on all three time frames. And sterling sitting at 130.22, again bearish against that stronger dollar on the medium term. Looking at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $38,000, just really teetering on this support level here. Be very interesting to see whether Bitcoin can actually just move back through the cloud there. That's what we're watching for. We've got downside targets and an upside target. So very much a mixed picture. The S&P 500 index was due to rise yesterday with the futures, but it ended up falling. And that is the bearishness that we see constantly just creeping into the market. The NASDAQ was also lower and is testing new lows here. Remembering we've still got over 20% downside there to play for, so markets haven't hit the bottom yet. Looking at the S&P 500 index, so the future, we are lower this morning, the same on the NASDAQ, just seeing a little bit of a sentiment change, and of course all eyes on the Fed this week and the UK Bank of England, what will happen with rates. The VIX volatility is up to 33, above 30 we're fearful, remember, and we are just trending higher on that VIX. So we're by no means out of the woods. The FTSE future down 1.5%. The DAX in Germany giving up most of yesterday's gains, down 1.9%. The CAC 40 down similarly. Japan bucked the trend. But the really big story is what's happening in China. So the Hang Seng down a further 5%. It has gone into free fall, and you'll notice this target was given at 25,000 to 18,700. That's where we've gone, and the Chinese market is also now falling very, very heavily. Targets being met there as well. You really cannot ignore these targets. And of course, you can use these targets on any stocks as well. It's just any chart. Sensex was also lower, and then the Aussie market was down slightly as well. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. Wheat continues to be volatile. We've had a really big pullback in wheat prices, having spiked much higher. That jump, of course, now we're just waiting to see what happens. Do we make a new high or do we make a lower low? So that's going to be what to watch for. Corn is down 1% as well. We are just seeing grains just pulling back. Gold sitting at 1933, having touched that 2000 level, just couldn't hold it. So we are short-term bearish here on the gold price, but the long-term targets are there. A lot of volatility, so it's these pullbacks that are really disconcerting. Palladium is up 1.4%. That has again had a lot of volatility lately, but really one of the things to watch is yields, and we're seeing US 10-year yields sitting at 2.09%. We've got targets to 220. We did put a post out yesterday on LinkedIn where there's interest rate potential to 3.5–4% on the longer term horizontal target. So that's something certainly to keep an eye on. Looking at the energy mix, we've got Brent crude just nudging 100 this morning, so really quite a sharp pullback here. We've got targets lower. We've activated downside targets. It'll be very interesting. Remember, if these targets are met, that would be bearish confirmation. But don't be surprised if we don't pull back as far as the targets. That's one of the things that you need to watch. And we are just exhausting the 1-minute targets. So watch here first for any new ones building. WTI is already below $100. US nat gas is bearish. We went out to clients this morning in our report on gas. Emissions are actually falling back, so it's quite interesting. Having recovered here, we are just seeing a little bit of a sell-off. Gas is all over the place. We're seeing TTF down this morning. It was up and down, and the same with NBP. It's up 3% this morning, but again, we are seeing a lot of volatility and a seesaw there, and German power lower as well. Don't forget to just keep an eye out on our news. Here's today's report out covering all of the charts and all sources here at Updata in the news. And of course, if you're looking at our new gas and power pricing for Europe, you'll notice the pricing here. So looking at UK gas, last night's closes, really quite interesting that we are just seeing those fallbacks, which is providing potentially soon buying opportunities in gas. Power is steadying as well, and we'll take a closer look at that tomorrow. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.